Most people believe that once you reach your 60s, you've made it past the hardest part of life. But the truth is far more unsettling, especially for older women. In the United States, the average life expectancy for women is just over 80. Yet a surprisingly large number don't live to see that milestone. Why is that? And more importantly, what can be done about it? If you're a woman over 60, or you love one, you need to hear this. Today, we're diving into a serious reality that doesn't get talked about enough. From silent killers hiding in daily habits, to overlooked medical risks, and even emotional factors that quietly chip away at longevity. This video pulls no punches. But it's not all bad news. There are women who live well beyond 90. Some even make it to 100, still sharp, still smiling, still strong. And we're going to reveal 5 powerful secrets they follow. Before we begin, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment right now. How old do you want to live to be? What's your personal goal? And if you're ready for the truth and real tools to protect your future, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This is wisdom that could change everything. Let's begin. The first reason many older women don't live past 80 is something few people talk about: chronic stress, and how it quietly destroys the female body over time. For decades, women have carried invisible weights. Whether it's raising children, managing households, caring for aging parents, or working jobs without recognition, the long-term emotional toll is staggering. The body doesn't forget stress. It builds up, slowly, silently, until it turns into high blood pressure, heart disease, weakened immunity, or even cancer. And here's something even more shocking. Studies show that older women are more likely to experience loneliness than men, especially after retirement, widowhood, or becoming empty nesters. Loneliness, in medical terms, is not just a feeling, it's a health risk. Researchers now compare it to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's how destructive isolation can be. What makes this worse is that older women are often the last to seek help. They've been conditioned to put others first. They keep quiet, dismiss pain, and try to stay strong. But behind closed doors, the stress simmers. Their bodies pay the price. And stress doesn't just come from the past. There's a hidden pressure many women feel as they age, a sense of invisibility. Society tends to focus on youth and beauty, leaving older women feeling overlooked. That emotional invisibility slowly chips away at mental health, which is directly linked to physical decline. But here's the good news. Some women fight back and win. They meditate. They journal. They join walking groups or community classes, not just for fitness, but for connection. They learn to say no, to let go of guilt, to speak up at the doctor's office. They take stress seriously, not as something to hide, but as something to heal. If you've been silently battling chronic stress, or if you've felt invisible lately, you're not alone. And you don't have to carry it all by yourself anymore. Tell me in the comments, what's the biggest source of stress in your life right now? And how are you coping with it? Someone reading your comment might need that same advice. And if this is resonating with you so far, don't forget to subscribe. There are 4 more life-changing secrets coming, and they might just be the key to your 100th birthday. The second reason most older women don't make it past 80 lies in underrated nutritional neglect. Years of subtle, unintentional malnutrition that finally catch up with the body. Many women over 60 grew up in an era where dieting was popular, calories were feared, and fat was the enemy. But as science advanced, it became clear, cutting too many calories, especially in later life, can do more harm than good. And yet, old habits die hard. As women age, their bodies require more nutrients, not less. Bone density declines. Muscle mass decreases. Hormonal shifts affect everything from digestion to mood. But despite these changes, many older women eat less. Why? Sometimes it's loss of appetite. Sometimes it's medication side effects. And sometimes it's just loneliness at the dinner table. Skipping meals or relying on tea, toast, or processed foods becomes routine. And this lack of nutrients? It leads to weakness, falls, cognitive decline, and immune failure. It doesn't happen overnight. It builds over time, until suddenly, the body can't fight back anymore. Protein is one of the biggest concerns. Older women often don't get enough, which means their muscles begin to waste away. That makes daily tasks harder, walking, standing, even breathing. It also increases the risk of fractures, which are often the beginning of the end for many seniors. Then there's vitamin D and calcium, critical for bone health, yet often forgotten. Omega-3s, essential for brain and heart function, are missing in diets that exclude fish or healthy fats. And hydration? Many older women drink far too little, leading to fatigue, confusion, and kidney problems. But there's hope, and it starts with something small: awareness. The women who live beyond 90 often share one trait in common. They take what they eat seriously. They eat balanced meals rich in colorful vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and healthy fats. They don't obsess over weight. They focus on strength. They cook at home when they can. They ask their doctors to check for nutrient deficiencies. And they listen to their bodies, not outdated diet rules. If you're over 60 and reading this, ask yourself honestly, are you nourishing your body or just feeding it? When was the last time you had your B12, iron, or vitamin D checked? These details could be the difference between feeling tired at 75 and dancing at your 95th birthday. Now I want to hear from you. What's your go-to healthy meal? Or, if you struggle with nutrition, what's the hardest part about eating well these days? Let's help each other in the comments. And remember, this is just the second secret. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. The next one could be the most important one yet. The third reason many older women don't make it past 80 is a silent epidemic that begins in the bones and ends in the hospital: physical inactivity. After retirement, many women naturally slow down. The daily rush disappears. The commute ends. Children are grown. Without realizing it, entire days pass with little movement. A stroll to the mailbox, a few minutes of housework, that becomes the extent of physical activity for many. But the body isn't meant to be still. Muscles are meant to work. Joints are meant to move. And when they don't, things begin to fall apart. Literally. Did you know that after age 30, women lose as much as 3% to 5% of muscle mass each decade? Without exercise, that loss accelerates. By 70, some women can lose up to half their strength. And here's the cruel part. Once you lose strength, you lose balance. You lose mobility. You lose independence. It's a slippery slope. One missed step, one fall, one fracture, and suddenly you're facing surgery, bed rest, complications. And many women don't recover. Hip fractures in particular are devastating. Studies show that up to 30% of older adults who suffer a hip fracture die within a year. Not from the fall, but from everything that comes after: infection, immobility, depression, isolation. But here's the powerful truth. This is preventable. The women who live past 90, past 100, they move. Not by running marathons or lifting heavy weights. No, they walk. They stretch. They garden. They dance in the kitchen. They take gentle yoga or Tai Chi. They stay active not for appearance, but for survival. And they do one thing consistently. They prioritize strength. Leg strength, in particular, is a secret weapon. It's the difference between rising from a chair confidently or not rising at all. It's the difference between catching your balance or falling hard. And no, it's never too late. Studies show that even women in their 80s and 90s can rebuild muscle and improve balance with simple, consistent exercise. Chair squats, wall push-ups, light resistance bands. Small actions, big changes. One more thing, movement isn't just physical. It protects the brain. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, reduces risk of dementia, and boosts mood. Women who move tend to be sharper, more optimistic, more connected to life. So now I want to ask you directly, how much are you moving these days? What's one small thing you could add? A morning walk, a stretching routine, a gentle class at your local senior center. Leave a comment, not just for you, but for someone else reading, someone who might need a little motivation. And if you're finding this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. We still have 2 life-changing secrets ahead, and the next one hits even closer to home. The fourth reason so many older women don't live past 80 is one most families don't see coming until it's too late: undiagnosed and untreated cognitive decline. Memory slips start off small, forgetting a name, misplacing the keys. easily brushed off as just getting older. But for many women, those small moments are the early signs of something deeper. Cognitive aging that isn't just natural, but dangerous when ignored. Here's what most people don't realize. Women are nearly twice as likely as men to develop Alzheimer's disease. And yet, they're also more likely to dismiss early symptoms or avoid diagnosis out of fear, shame, or denial. By the time help is sought, it's often too late for meaningful intervention. The reasons behind this imbalance are complex. Estrogen, which has a protective effect on the brain, sharply declines after menopause. Add to that decades of chronic stress, poor sleep, and nutritional deficiencies, and you have a perfect storm for mental decline. But here's where it gets even more serious. When cognitive function starts to slip, physical health often follows. Forgetting to take medications, missing meals, getting lost on routine walks, or worse, becoming vulnerable to scams, manipulation, or accidents at home. Families are often caught off guard. She seemed fine last year, they say, but these changes can happen gradually, almost invisibly, until one crisis forces everything into the light. So how do the women who live to 100 protect their minds? They engage it. Every day, they don't stop learning. They read. They do puzzles. They play memory games. But more importantly, they stay socially connected, a powerful factor proven to slow cognitive decline. Conversation, laughter, debate, these are workouts for the brain. They also prioritize sleep. Not just rest, but real, deep sleep. Because the brain clears toxins while we sleep. And too many women in their 60s and beyond suffer from insomnia, night waking, or untreated sleep apnea without realizing how damaging it is to long-term brain health. And then there's this. They ask for help early. They see neurologists. They track memory changes. They aren't afraid of the truth, because the earlier cognitive decline is caught, the more effective the strategies to delay it. If you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went in, if you've started repeating stories or losing your train of thought more often than you'd like, I want you to know you're not alone. And it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to take seriously, with courage, not fear. Tell me in the comments, what's one thing you do every day to keep your brain sharp? Or if memory issues have touched your family, what have you learned that others should know? And don't forget, there's one more secret to living past 100. It might just be the most hopeful one yet. Make sure you've subscribed, because this next part is where everything comes together. The fifth and final secret to why some women live well past 100, while others don't make it to 80, is perhaps the most surprising of all: purpose. Not diet, not exercise, not even genetics. Purpose. Researchers from around the world, Japan, Italy, the US, have all come to the same conclusion. Having a reason to wake up in the morning is one of the strongest predictors of longevity, especially for women. And yet, so many women lose their sense of purpose after 60. After retiring from a long career, after their children leave home, after losing a spouse or dear friends, life slows down, and for some, it starts to feel like they're no longer needed. That feeling of being invisible, of not having a role anymore, is devastating. And it's dangerous. Because the body follows the mind. When a woman feels she has nothing to look forward to, her energy drops. Her immune system weakens. She moves less, eats worse, and isolates more. This emotional emptiness becomes physical decline. It's not sadness, it's survival. But here's the powerful truth: purpose doesn't retire. Some of the longest living women on Earth aren't rich. They don't have perfect health, but they have something to care about. A small garden, a neighbor who needs them, a weekly book club, a rescued cat, a community where their voice matters, a grandchild they teach to bake. In Okinawa, Japan, where many centenarian women thrive, they have a word for it: ikigai, a reason for being. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. And it's never too late to find one. One woman picked up painting at 78 and had her first gallery show at 92. Another began tutoring children at her local library in her 80s. One more learned how to use Zoom just to read bedtime stories to her great-grandkids across the country. They aren't just living. They are alive. So ask yourself, what gives your life meaning today? What makes you feel like you still matter? If the answer is, I don't know anymore, then this is your invitation. Not to chase some grand mission, but to begin again with something small and joyful. Something that calls you forward. Maybe it's something you used to love but gave up. Maybe it's something you've never tried. Maybe it's someone who still needs your stories, your hands, your wisdom. I want to hear from you. What gives you purpose right now? Or what would you like to give you purpose? Let's light a spark for someone else in the comments. Your words might be the very thing they need. And if you've made it this far, thank you. You are the kind of person who values life deeply, who doesn't settle for just getting by. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep exploring the truths that really matter together. We're almost done, but don't go yet. The conclusion is coming, and it ties all of this together. So now you know. The 5 silent reasons so many women never make it past 80, and the 5 powerful secrets of those who do. It's not luck. It's not just genes. It's the daily choices, your choices, that shape the years ahead. Manage your stress. Nourish your body. Move with intention. Guard your mind. And above all, live with purpose. You are not invisible. You are not done. You are needed. The world still wants your stories, your laughter, your wisdom. And you deserve a life that doesn't just last, but thrives. So tell me in the comments, what's one change you're ready to make today? One step toward 90, 95, even 100? And if this video moved you, if it opened your eyes or reminded you of your own strength, please like it, share it with someone you love, and hit subscribe. Let's build a community where growing older means growing stronger. You're still here, and your next chapter could be your best one yet.